Hey guys, James here from James at Productions, and welcome to the unboxing and review of the Fifine K678 condenser microphone. So I've had this microphone for a few weeks now, and I wanted to share with you what I think of the microphone from an audio engineer's perspective, and I'm going to talk about if this microphone is worth buying for podcasters and streamers. I'm also going to be comparing this microphone, which costs about $80 with my trusty $400 Shure microphone SM7B, which is this one. Now, I'm very well aware that this one is a condenser microphone and this one is a dynamic microphone. But because the K678 seems to be targeting podcasters, YouTubers, and streamers, and the SM7B happens to be a hugely popular microphone choice among those communities, as I'm sure you have seen many people used it, I think it's fair to compare them too. The SM7B is also the only other microphone I have, so I don't really have that much of a choice here. In the end, I'll also process the vocal recordings and see how the K678 holds up, because sometimes processing really brings out the problems of a microphone. I do want to mention that Fifine did give me the microphone for free in exchange for this review, but I'm under no obligation to lie about anything. First, let's check out the unboxing. As you can see, it doesn't come with a lot of accessories, but it has all the essentials. We have the microphone with the stand, which is detachable by the way, an adapter if you want to mount the mic on a boom arm, and a USB cable, along with a user's guide, and a welcome card. I have to say that the packaging and the unboxing experience are superb. It makes you feel like you are unboxing a premium product even though it's just 80 bucks. You know how with some inexpensive products, and when you are unboxing them, you can see why it's cheap and where they cut the cost? Yeah, this is not like that at all. The build quality of the microphone and the stand also feels expensive. It's pretty much on par with my $400 SM7B. It just feels really solid. The knobs feel really high quality as well, and they don't feel loose. There's quite a bit of resistance when you turn them, almost a little bit too much, but I imagine over time it's going to loosen up a bit. Connecting the K678 microphone to the computer is extremely easy. All I needed to do was to plug it in and check the sound settings in the computer, and I can start recording right away. There's no need to install a driver or anything like that. I really appreciate how little friction there is in the setup process. Now to the recording quality or the sound quality of the microphone, which is arguably the most important aspect of a microphone. When I was recording the DrumForge review video 2 weeks ago, I actually set up both microphones and captured my talking through both of them simultaneously, so you can hear exactly how one is different than the other. What I'm going to do now is to play the voice recording, unprocessed, and alternate between the two microphones. Let's see if you can guess which one is the $80 one and which one is the $400 one. Write down your guesses in the comments section. Also, write down which one you think sounds better. I'm very intrigued to know your answers. Don't forget to use good speakers or headphones to listen, alright? Here's the recording. Hey guys, James here from James at Productions. Almost exactly 3 years ago, I posted a video demoing DrumForge 1. Many people liked the video, and the word DrumForge is actually the search term that drives the most traffic to my YouTube channel. So, with all the improvement done to the sampler over the last few years, I think it's time for a new DrumForge review, featuring an original metal song I wrote and DrumForge with the entire drum mix done within the sampler, so I didn't use any other plugins to mix the drums. And you guys are gonna love this, 2 DrumForge metal presets for download. I'm gonna talk about the presets after the song. So do you have your guesses? A is the $400 SM7B and B is the $80 K678. I listened to the voice recordings on my professional studio monitors, and right off the bat, although they sound drastically different, I definitely can't say that the SM7B sounds like it's worth $300 more or 5 times better than the K678. Let's use an EQ to analyze and compare the frequencies of the vocal recordings by these two microphones and see how they differ on a technical level. Here I have FabFilter's Pro Q3, which is showing us the frequency spectrums of the two vocal recordings in real time. The gray spectrum represents the K678 and the red spectrum represents the SM7B. As you may already have noticed, they don't look that different. The biggest visual difference we can see here is that the K678 captured much more high frequencies than the SM7B, but that's to be expected for a condenser microphone because it is generally more sensitive to high frequencies. You can also see in here that the SM7B captured slightly more low-end frequencies around the 100 to 250 Hz area. What this shows is that the K678 does a good job capturing all the important frequencies for the vocals. There are no weird spikes or dips in the frequencies captured, which is definitely a good thing. I do feel that the SM7B sounds a bit better overall than the K678, although judging solely on the unprocessed recordings isn't really meaningful because most people process their recordings after, and even if you are live streaming, you can still have real-time processing for the microphone. So let's hop on Logic Pro X and do some vocal processing. One of the most important steps in any vocal processing is compression. And when you put compression on vocals, that's when bad vocals recordings fall apart, because the compression will bring out the flaws that are too quiet for us to notice before. So I'm going to put some compression on the vocals and worry about de-essing and EQ later. Here, I'm using FabFilter's Pro C2, which in my opinion is the best compressor plugin you can get in the market right now. I've dialed in about 3 to 6 decibels of gain reduction using the vocal mode and tweaked the attack and release to taste. I have the plugin on the master bus, so whenever I solo one of the recordings, you'll hear how the recording sounds after being compressed. Let's actually switch between the two vocals and hear the difference more clearly. Hey guys, James here from James at Productions. Almost exactly 3 years ago, I posted a video demoing DrumForge 1. Many people liked the video, and the word DrumForge is actually the search term that drives the most traffic to my YouTube channel. So, with all the improvement done to the sampler over the last few years, I think it's time for a new DrumForge review, featuring an original metal song I wrote and DrumForge with the entire drum mix done within the sampler, so I didn't use any other plugins to mix the drums. And you guys are gonna love this, 2 DrumForge metal presets for download. I'm gonna talk about the presets after the song. Aside from the tonal differences, which we all heard, even without the compression, I can clearly hear that the compression really brings out the background noises in the K678. When I was recording that video 2 weeks ago, the dryer right outside the door was running. So you can actually hear the dryer humming and tumbling the clothes in the K678 recording. This is a result of condenser microphones being much more sensitive to sound than dynamic microphones. It's not because the mic is bad quality. To me, the K678 recording holds up really well after compression. There is certainly nothing bad that jumped out at me. No nasty or weird frequencies. It does sound a bit trebly, but it's nothing an EQ can fix. Now, I'm going to do some EQ adjustments and de-essing to polish the vocals and get them to sound more like the typical podcast quality voice recordings, and see how the K678 holds up and compare to the SM7B after the full production. Hey guys, James here from James at Productions. Almost exactly 3 years ago, I posted a video demoing DrumForge 1. Many people liked the video, and the word DrumForge is actually the search term that drives the most traffic to my YouTube channel. So, with all the improvement done to the sampler over the last few years, I think it's time for a new DrumForge review, featuring an original metal song I wrote and DrumForge with the entire drum mix done within the sampler, so I didn't use any other plugins to mix the drums. And you guys are gonna love this, 2 DrumForge metal presets for download. I'm gonna talk about the presets after the song. I'm going to play the processed version of the recordings and then show you the unprocessed version so you can hear the before and after. Hey guys, James here from James at Productions. Almost exactly 3 years ago, I posted a video demoing DrumForge 1. Many people liked the video, and the word DrumForge is actually the search term that drives the most traffic to my YouTube channel. So, with all the improvement done to the sampler over the last few years, I think it's time for a new DrumForge review, featuring an original metal song I wrote and DrumForge with the entire drum mix done within the sampler, so I didn't use any other plugins to mix the drums. And you guys are gonna love this, 2 DrumForge Metal presets for download. I'm gonna talk about the presets after the song. Hey guys, James here from James at Productions. Almost exactly 3 years ago, I posted a video demoing DrumForge 1. Many people liked the video, and the word DrumForge is actually the search term that drives the most traffic to my YouTube channel. So, with all the improvement done to the sampler over the last few years, I think it's time for a new DrumForge review, featuring an original metal song I wrote and DrumForge with the entire drum mix done within the sampler, so I didn't use any other plugins to mix the drums. And you guys are gonna love this, 2 DrumForge Metal presets for download. I'm gonna talk about the presets after the song. I've EQ'd and de-essed the vocals to the best I can. Unsurprisingly, the price difference between the 2 microphones really shows after the vocals are compressed. While the K678 doesn't sound bad by any means, it simply doesn't sound as good or as full as the SM7B post-processing. To me, the SM7B sounds warmer, more detailed, and overall more flattering, while the K678 is a bit harsher and less detailed. You can see why the SM7B is so popular among podcasters, because it really gives you that really professional quality, full sounding voice recordings. The K678 is simply weaker in terms of sound quality, but I don't think anyone would be surprised given the different tiers they are in and the different demographics they are designed for. So is the SM7B definitively better overall then? Actually, no. Like I said, these microphones are clearly designed for different crowds. The SM7B has better sound quality, yes, but you also have to spend 5 to 10 times more just to get everything you need to record with the SM7B. You need not only the microphone itself, which is $400, but also an audio interface, which costs several $100s for a good one, a Cloudlifter, because the SM7B is hard to push for regular interface, and that costs about $150, cables, and a separate mic stand. Adding all those up, you can easily be spending close to $1,000 with tax. With the K678 though, you don't need any of that. You can spend $80 on it, and you can plug it in and start recording right away. Everything comes included. Just make sure you are in a quiet, dampened room, and you'll be good to go. Moreover, you can record multiple people with just one K678 mic because it's more sensitive to sound as a condenser microphone. And you can't really do that with the SM7B. I mean, at least it's not recommended, and you'll hardly see anyone who does that. That's why many YouTube channels with 2 hosts use a condenser microphone. If you are a podcaster, YouTuber, or streamer, or trying to do any of those things and you are on a budget, I would highly recommend the Fifine K678 because it simply gives you very good audio for a low price with the most minimal setup. The microphone also has a super slick finish, so it'll look awesome in your videos. I'll put links to both microphones in the description if you want to check them out, and I'll also include the unprocessed recordings from those 2 microphones so you can take a listen and play with them yourself. That's it for this video. Give it a like if you find it helpful. Subscribe if you want to see more awesome music production content. I post a video every week. Now get back to your DAW to make some music, and see you next time.